I don't know who needs to hear this, but ask God before you do it. I don't know who need to hear this, but ask God before you make that decision. Ask God before you go out and do that thing. Ask God before you cut that person out of your life. I have felt so distant from God and his love at times, especially recently. And one thing that I didn't know was causing that separation was I would only talk to God to either complain or to ask for things. And a lot of times what happens whenever that's the type of situation, the type of relationship that we got with God, is that we only come to him after we've made our decisions and we ask him, God, why am I going through this? Why did this person do me like that? Why is life going the way it is right now? But we fail to understand. We were going through all these situations, leaning on our own understanding and making all the decisions for ourselves whenever we should be going to God and asking him, is this even a good idea in the first place? Guys, I don't think a lot of us realize the gift that is holy discernment, right? And we're not going to grow in that gift that God wants to give us without going to him and asking him, should I even be doing this? And you're probably sitting there asking yourself, Alan, how am I going to know whenever God answers that prayer? He's going to give you a sign. And if you're sitting there telling yourself, I've already tried that before and he didn't give me a sign, guys, persistence in prayer is super important. We see that all the time in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Persistent prayer will get you an answer, okay? Whether or not it's going to be an answer that you like and whether or not it aligns with your wants and desires is up to God, okay? And most of the time, that answer that we get from God is going to go against what we want for ourselves. But whenever we love God so much that we want to carry out his will instead of our own is when we align ourselves, okay, with the blessings that God has for us. Because he wants to give us those blessings. But guys, if we're not even putting the work in to align ourselves in his plan, and if we're not putting his wants for our life above our own, guys, we're never going to be able to receive them. So this is just a reminder. Grow in the gift of holy discernment, okay? And be able to differentiate what's going to help you and what's going to hurt you. And how do we do that? Ask God to guide you before you make any of these decisions.